Hello, my name is Johnny Jupiter, and I grew up here, Birmingham, Alabama. Birmingham has always had people who try to remember as far back as they can and tell stories. And some of these stories put a chill down my spine, kept me awake at nights and out of certain parts of town after sunset. These are the facts as I have discovered them, along with the stories as I have been told them. This is Scary Stories from the Magic City. Church of the Red Room. Birmingham is home to over 1,519 churches. It also accommodates 7 Jewish temples and 11 mosques. Not all churches are the same. Some churches can harbor great evil and be as far removed from goodness as possible. The following story is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent. A cult can typically be defined as a relatively small group of people, having religious beliefs or practices regarded by others as strange or sinister. The way a cult works is first submission to leadership. Leaders tend to be absolute prophets of God or God himself. Then the application of a polarized worldview where you are taught that the group is all that is good and everything outside of the group is bad. Cult leaders also use the manipulation of feelings, with techniques designed to stimulate emotions, employing group dynamics to influence responses. And one of the darkest tenets of a cult is where the ends justify the means, which means any action is justifiable as long as it furthers the group's goals. The group's leader becomes the absolute truth and is above all man-made laws, and oftentimes the laws of God. In 2013, there was a young non-denominational church holding services in a quaint little house in the quiet historical district of Birmingham's 5 Points South. The church housed 6 young homeless women in the upstairs bedrooms. The main living area had been converted into a chapel. Services were held weekly at the home-based church, and there were stories of very long sermons lasting hours on end, with prayer services lasting late into the night. Many of the women living in the church's homeless shelter were former prostitutes and battered women, women with drug problems, women with previous run-ins with the law. The church's services were basically closed to only include the women of the shelter, and only a handful of the members of the community were allowed. The church was named Women's Success House, run by a man who called himself Reverend Clifford Cullen, and his first lady, deaconess, single mother of 3, Martha Simons. Part of the program regiment that no, quote, outside distractions of Satan, unquote, were allowed. This meant limited cell phone use, social network with limited access, 1 weekly phone call to family, no unapproved visitors, no overnight stays away from the church. Diet was heavily controlled, and mandatory medicine was administered. Some women were told they were being given vitamins. Later, police would discover these vitamins would turn out to be Valium, codeine, and other narcotics. The small, sleepy, quiet house seemed primitive. No cable, no TV, no dishwasher, except for the high-powered computers and internet server running non-stop in the basement of this church. When you search the internet, what you are searching is called the clear web. The clear web is the surface area, which is indexed by search engines such as Google, Bing, Yahoo, or even the Russian Yandex. The deep web, however, is an area search engines cannot crawl for an index. Plunging in even further, we find the dark web. The dark web is a small area within the deep web, which is intentionally hidden. The dark web is web content that exists on overlay networks, which use the public internet, but requires specific software or authorization to access. The dark web includes small P2P or peer-to-peer networks, as well as large networks like the Tor network, operated by the public. Users of the dark web refer to the regular web as the clearnet, due to its unencrypted nature. On the dark web, there are a variety of illegal offerings. A website called the Silk Road sold cocaine and ecstasy and other drugs openly. Many dark websites offer hitman services, and prostitution using anonymous Bitcoin transactions. Then there are the red rooms, where anything goes. Online pay-to-watch suicide clubs, and databases of animal, child, and even snuff pornography, which is pornography that ends with at least one person being murdered in the film, sometimes on a live pay-to-watch format. This type of activity, and the websites that produce it, of course, are illegal, and just plain wrong. By now you're probably asking, what does a church homeless shelter have to do with evil dark web red rooms? Unfortunately, in our story, everything. The man known as Reverend Cullen was really a sick, twisted individual, twice arrested and wanted in Greece for human trafficking, and his accomplice to evil, Miss Martha Simons, an Atlanta con woman who helped manage the women in the house, and the young women always seemed to be unattached to families and between the ages of 19 and 25. Simons helped with the medicine as well. For about 5 years, they operated under the nose of the police, until one young woman, new to the church homeless shelter, asked if her boyfriend could come and attend the church. He was allowed. He recognized the church was a cult immediately. He informed the police of Reverend Cullen administering drugs without a prescription and forcing tenants to take the pills in question. What police found in the home-based church will turn your blood to ice water in your veins. Police searched the church's chapel area and discovered a large brown bag hidden in the pulpit, full of illegal prescription pills and containers of GHB, the date rape drug. This prompted police to investigate even further. Mrs. Simons evaded the police while they were searching the premises. Cullen was not at the premises at the time of the police raid. When police began to search the women's rooms upstairs, they found small, well-hidden cameras in the bedrooms, the bathrooms, the closets, the chapel, and all over the house. The wires led police to a diabolical discovery in the basement. Police found computers that were streaming live footage of the girls online. Police found a room sealed with layers of thick plastic sheets, where they later recovered the DNA of a missing Texas woman and a camera used by Cullen for making snuff pornography. Police seized the hard drives of the computers and collected footage of both Cullen and Mrs. Simons drugging, sexually assaulting, and performing strange satanic rituals on the girls in what appeared to be drug-induced trances. All the while being streamed on the cult's pay-to-watch dark website. Police could not locate Cullen, who was discovered to have multiple aliases and identities. Now, I guess you're asking now, how did all of this happen, and I didn't hear a word about it in the news? This is why. Police informed the FBI that this website had a total of about 400 subscribers. And after the seizure and demise of the deep web drug bazaar Silk Road in 2011, federal law enforcement has made monumental claims concerning their aims to crack down on darknet-based crime. However, in fact, when Edward Snowden leaked classified information in the summer of 2013, documents revealed that not even the NSA was able to scratch the surface of the Tor network. So to be effective to fight this kind of crime, police needed an inside source, and this abandoned network was an opportunity to pose as a dark web vendor. So police and FBI began to operate the site as a honeypot, which is a website that hosts illegal material to catch people who seek it out. Cullen and Simons have never been captured or prosecuted for their crimes, and they remain free and on the run to this day. So the next time someone invites you to visit their church, make sure it isn't the Church of the Red Room.